Welcome back, tribe. Have an episode here from the Filipina P. It's been a minute, but saw she tagged us in it. Are women still worth it? Are Filipinas any different? Let's get into
Hi,
it.
folks. The Filipina P here. And there's a video going around that's getting a lot of attention, but not in the way its creator intended.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family. So I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do
What
his
the hell?
laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any
insane.
of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if
How did you think making this video would come across? What's the point of even being married to you? What the hell? That's crazy. And she's got a ring on her finger and the guy is okay with it. I told you guys we have a real masculinity crisis going on here in the entire world, especially the West, but I don't know where she's from. Sounds like somewhere in America. It's crazy the shit men will put up with. They do not respect themselves. They've been beat down. That guy's probably coming from a single mother household. He doesn't know what it means to be a man. He's getting no respect, or he probably saw his father get no respect. And so he's living the same amalgamation of beat down beta Bob lifestyle, working to the bone and getting nothing in return. This is crazy.
I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs
What
new
the hell?
underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown adult because then they get used to that. So, no.
Now, thousands of angry and disgusted guys have posted their responses, but I thought it'd be interesting to see the reactions of Filipinas. So I'm going to show the video to local ladies and see what they have to say about it. This ought to be good.
See how crazy people look at him. Watch. And the rest of
What
the
do you
world.
think of her attitude towards her husband?
I think she's playing on her husband for money.
For money?
Yeah.
Okay. When you get married, would you help your husband with financial problems?
Yes, of course.
If you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know, half.
Half?
Yeah.
If you can,
Yeah.
if you can manage.
If I have work, so we need to have the bills or.
But at least you're gonna help.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna help pay the bills if
Yeah.
you can. Do you know of any Filipina who has the same attitude as, that woman?
No.
No?
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah. We are all Filipina. Filipina is lover. I mean, love.
love our
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
We'll take care of our family,
Yes.
including the husband.
Yes.
Okay, so hypothetically, when you get married in the future, what can you do for your husband?
I will love all my life, char.
Now you're gonna give all
Yeah.
your life to him. How about physical intimacy? Because she didn't mention it. Physical intimacy.
What's that thing?
Like labing.
Loving.
Lap. Because that's part
I
of
will do it, yeah.
it's part of your relationship,
Yes.
right? If you were a man, kung laki ka,
Yes.
if you were a man, would you marry her?
No, for me, no.
No?
Very no, B.
Very no.
Yeah.
After watching the video, what do you think of her attitude?
Very selfish.
Very selfish. Okay, as a Filipina, how are we different?
We Filipinas, we really care about everything as a wife,
Mm-hmm.
also in our husbands,
It's common
do-
sense, though.
everything to make them feel home,
Mm-hmm.
love, and
Only in the West, man, will you get a woman that will say yes to marrying you, but then deep down resents you and hates your guts. That shit's so wild to see. Imagine not being inclined to just cook for your husband because actually you care for him and love him and want to see him strong and send him out into the world fully nourished so that he can come home with more money, more resources. No. Wash your own damn clothes. Wash your own dishes. I'm not taking care of you at all. Okay, then. So go find out a way to pay for the bills then. The hell? Because I'm only going to pay for the kids' side of the bills. I'm only paying for their rooms. We're going to deduct that from the rent. You're going to have to pay for half of the bedroom. You're going to pay, right? It's like if you want to go tit for tat, then she'll end up losing.
no.
Supported. So when you do the house
Or checkmate her ass. Bring in a woman that will cook and clean, a maid that's like 20 years old, smoking hot. Hire her for the monthly and say, since you don't want to do these things, here's another woman that will. And then some. And then hopefully she doesn't replace you completely one day.
Those chores. Do you feel like a slave?
No,
Is it beneath you? Why are you doing
No.
that? No.
no, I feel like this is my responsibility, so I will do this with all my heart.
So you're not being forced to do it.
Yes.
It's our love language to show our partner or our husbands that we take care of you.
Yeah.
What can you offer a man if you get married in the future?
Everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Do you think foreigners come here to look for a wife that could take care of them?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know of anyone, your friends, family,
Yeah.
that is someone married to a foreigner?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think the foreigner is happy?
Yes. Yes.
Amega, after watching that video, what do you think of her attitude?
I don't like her attitude.
You don't like her attitude?
Yeah.
Kind of toxic?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of toxic.
If you're a man, would you marry her?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
What does she offer?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Headaches.
Nothing?
Kind of. Nah.
Nah? Okay. How are we different as Filipinas?
If I have a husband like that,
Mm-hmm.
we do cooking, laundry, anything like so to serve our husband like that.
Okay. So what do you bring to the table? When you get married, what can you offer your husband?
Food.
Food? You're everything?
Yeah.
What about physical intimacy? Would you
Mm.
show your affection to him?
Yeah, because we're husband and wife. They entertain their husband well, like
Okay. Imagine coming home to a wife who does nothing, not doing the laundry, and
Yeah.
you have to provide for everything. So what's the
That'd be
point of
crazy.
being married to her, right?
yeah, kind of really toxic for them.
Yeah, very toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Does your mom take care of your father?
Yes.
A lot. Does she do massage to your father if he's tired?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Omega. After watching that video, what do you think of her attitude?
I don't like her.
You don't like her?
Yes.
Why? Why don't you like her?
She was like a very selfish person.
Very selfish person.
Yeah.
Very selfish person. Yeah, I can see that. So, if you were a man, would you marry her?
No, absolutely not.
No. Okay. What does she offer a man?
Nothing. As I watched that video, I saw nothing.
Nothing.
No.
You
What
see?
about?
That's what I try to tell you guys. The rest of the world is so much more sane when you go overseas. Like here in Eastern Europe, it's not as traditional as the Philippines, but that video would just, people would laugh at her and then feel sorry for the husband. But you have a sizable portion of the women in America that probably watch that video and go, yes, queen, yes, you deserve it all. He should have to do everything for himself and foot the bill. And he's lucky you gave him kids and all that. Like, that's insane. I can't stress enough the adversarial attitude that exists in the United States between men and women and just how toxic it is and how freeing and liberating it feels to finally meet a feminine, friendly, fit woman who is the smoke show, who likes to cook, likes to clean, likes to have you lead her, doesn't fight you on little things, no woke ideologies, no, I'm a strong boss babe, I'm independent, no, I don't need your money bullshit speech, none of that. They grew up with fathers. They know what it means to have a dad in the house. They know what it means and how important it is for safety, for security, the value a father provides. The fact that they grew up, most of these women have grew up without daddies or had deadbeat daddies. If the daddy was even in the picture at all. Do you know how much that psychologically damages a woman? You know why I tell you guys to avoid women, especially ones who didn't have a father present? Unless you really know what you're doing or she is very self-aware and understands the trauma, which most people aren't. They're just bots, NPCs, forever engaging in the trauma. They are reliving the emotional damage constantly, every single day through their actions. These people have not healed from their issues. It's like playing the game on hard mode. This is why I tell you guys, find people who have strong traditional families. Father is present. He was there to teach his daughter boundaries, self-respect, give her a sense of self-esteem that's healthy. That doesn't depend on the rest of the world. That's a woman that's extremely masculine because she grew up with no father figure present or a bad father figure present. And that's unfortunately a more and more common story for most American families is we produce more and more broken homes as time goes on. Like in vitro is going to become a popular thing where this is how women are going to get pregnant. They go to a sperm bank. That shit should be illegal. It should be banned. You should not be allowed to bring a child into a home where you don't have two parents. That's wild that you could just go out there as a single woman, turkey baster a kid in you, and then have to bring him up or her up in a single parent household, knowing all the statistics, knowing that money, even money does not make a difference. You can have a poor family with a father present. The outcome of the child will still be better. This is crazy, man.
As I watched that video, I saw nothing.
Nothing?
No.
What about, I don't know, being a trophy wife? Do you think, is she a trophy wife?
No. Physically, no.
No?
No.
Why? You don't think she's cute?
No.
Not necessarily?
No. She's
Finally,
fat.
honest.
She's fat. Ouch. Okay, so how are we Filipinos different from that girl?
Well, considering that we Filipinos we are very loving person, and
Mhm.
we accommodate anyone. Like if ever that example my husband, I would take care of him. I
Okay.
would cook for him. I would do all the laundry. I'll do anything for him.
Okay, you heard that she doesn't want to buy him underwear, and then she will only cook for her children.
That's nonsense.
That's nonsense,
Yeah.
right?
That's very nonsense.
Okay, so you, hypothetically, what do you bring to the table aside from being loving, cooking, and doing the laundry?
Well, for me,
Mhm.
of course, I want to work so that I can contribute in a table, of course,
Mhm.
and then for the house, I'll do this anything that I can offer to him.
You'd want to work and also take care of the household.
Yes.
How would you do that if you're going to do both?
Well,
Coming from home, coming
yes.
from work.
yes. You just have to expand your time
Mm-hmm.
from work then to home.
Okay.
It's just like the same as you went to school.
Mhm.
Like if you went to school, you study, and then you went home and then do the chores. It's just the same.
All you have to do is just manage the time.
Mm.
Okay, do you know of any Filipinas in your circle of friends or family members that have the same attitude like the girl on the video?
No,
No?
no. I grew up in a family that women are coordinate and very helpful to their husbands, and they also contributes to the table, and they work, they have job, they have everything that
On top
needs
of all that.
in a family.
Okay.
That's a very common thing too overseas, guys. You don't understand it. The traditional lifestyle that we harp on here in the West involves your wife being a stay-at-home, full-time mother. But the women in the rest of the world are already educated, are already providing for their families, do want to work and bring food home and money and cook and clean, do your laundry, watch the kids, give you 2-3 kids and all that stuff, like superwoman level shit. So she wants to work, provide, bring home the bread, also still take care of the home. The conversation isn't, well, you need to make enough money to keep me at home to be a stay-at-home mother so that I could take care of our kids. It's like, oh, we both need to work, make ends meet, make sure our lives are better for our kids. Cool, I'll do that, and I'll still watch the kids and do all this stuff. And then you're telling me that guy in the United States, wherever he was, married that chick that won't even fold his fucking laundry, bro? Or buy, what did she say? His socks and underwear when they needed replacing? Something like that's fucking wild. Nonsense is like the only way you can consider that statement. Nonsense. It's ridiculous.
So you think the husband of this woman would stay with her?
If I were him, no.
Yeah.
No? You would
No.
divorce her
Yeah.
in a heartbeat?
If you're a sane person, no. But if you're a mega simp that was raised in the West with no father figure present and you got no self-respect and you're basically a walking wallet, doormat, yeah. And you will be part of that statistic where she's going to leave you because she doesn't respect you. Bro, she won't even cook for you. She won't even wash your clothes. Like, that's a ticking time bomb. That guy's relationship is already over. He just doesn't know it. So he's slowly digging his grave, working day in and day out, providing for a woman that does not value him whatsoever, does not appreciate him. And you're going to end up part of that 50+% divorce statistic and coming out the divorce all bitter and why the fuck should men ever get married? And that, look at your example. Look at the woman you choose. You got down on one knee and you pick that woman. This shit is self-inflicted. I tell you guys all the time.
Okay, so what about physical intimacy though? Because she didn't mention physical intimacy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Physical intimacy.
Well, that's a good catch, by the way. I doubt they're having sex in that relationship. Why would any woman? She's probably cheating on him if she hasn't already. That guy solely exists to not get wrecked in divorce court. He's probably getting psychologically beat down every single day. Again, you chose her, you got down one knee, and you chose to marry that woman. What does that say about that man?
It is a must, okay? It's a must because it is where you show your partner that you're loving, that you are passionate to each other.
So you think physical intimacy is a must in every relationship?
Yes.
Okay. So what advice can you give to that woman if she's listening?
Actually, hello. My advice is that please don't be selfish. Okay, you don't have it all. You have to be grateful
Mhm.
that your husband takes care of you and your children
Mhm.
and gives you everything that you need. So you should also contribute and then takes care of him.
That video was kind of weird, right? What do you think of her attitude?
She doesn't know about anything about obligation on husband. She didn't say anything about like what she can do for him. She felt comfortable with these things. She thinking like this is the right thing for her. Then she just doing like, oh, okay, let me
Okay.
do this part for me only. Like she's not thinking about the man part only for herself.
If I were the guy, she's not very pleasant girl. I think I'll just do it on my own.
Yes.
Okay, so as a Filipina, you were born and raised here.
Yes.
How are you different from that woman?
I think it is like really like a big difference because when it comes to our culture, our parents raise us like when you're gonna marry, you have this obligation, and we already know that. Like all Filipinos know that stuff that when we married, we supposed to know like how to clean the dishes, to wash our husband clothes, and to take care of like housewife
Basics.
doings. Yes.
It's automatic.
Yeah.
We do that because we love the person.
Yes. It is already in our mind.
Okay, why should a man marry you? What's so special about you? Why not marry me or her or the other girls? Why should this guy marry you instead of other girls?
In our family also like tradition, it is not allowed to do like drinking alcohol or cigarettes like this stuff. I never do like this.
Okay, so
And
you don't,
yes.
you don't
There
have
you go.
any
And
vices.
nightlife, yes, nightlife.
Oh, so
You
you'd
hear
be
that?
a devoted wife.
Yeah. As what we watch in a video, I think I can do.
So you heard that? No drinking, no smoking, no going out to clubs. Imagine telling a Western woman something like that.
In a reverse of what she not doing. Yes, when you go to the marriage, when you go to church, it is already part when they say to your vows, like for better or for worse, you're gonna be there.
Well, thank you, Omega. I think your future husband is going to be very, very lucky.
I hope so.
What do you think of her attitude?
She's so sarcastic.
Okay, she's so sarcastic.
I don't see him as a wife.
Okay,
As she's so very material wife.
okay. She's so materialistic.
Yes. Well, growing in the Philippines, my mother told me, and also my grandma told me that when you grow up, you should act like a humble person. Show them how you respect. Show them your whole life, your love. I will act him loyal and also be faithful to him.
Okay, your loyalty and your faithfulness.
Yes.
So you'd stay no matter what?
Yes. Through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin. What if he lost his job and he can no longer support the family? Will you stay with him?
Yes. Well, I can work.
Okay.
50-50.
Do you see?
Okay.
If
You see what I tell you guys? The mentality, it's not adversarial. You're not going to lose your position as a husband, a married man, just because you lost your job. The woman is immediately going into, how can I help mode? How can I help us? Okay, can I help pull the weight? Is there something I can do? Get a job? Can I volunteer here? Do this? What is it, baby? How can I help you? The mentality in the West is, well, you better figure that shit out because I'm not going to wait around forever. What? Unreal, dude. Never, ever, ever get married in the West. Ever. The mentality is straight poison.
well, if he don't have, well, I don't have, then I can offer him what I have.
Okay. So you'd support him.
Yes.
You're not just gonna disappear because he can no longer work.
Yes.
Even if he becomes a, disabled, like,
Yes.
so you'd stay with him. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Because love for me is you should No
hear
matter
that?
what happened, you should stay by side.
Ah, okay. So
Do you hear that?
thick and thin.
Yes.
So death do us part.
That to us part.
Okay. Plus we don't have divorce here. This woman is not acting like a lady.
Yes.
Okay.
She asked him like a stupid one.
Okay. So her offering to her husband is just treating her husband like a stupid
Stupid.
one. Okay. Okay, the joke's on you for marrying me. That's what
Yes,
she's
yes.
giving off, like the vibe. Okay. Do you have any Filipino friends with this kind of attitude?
Yes, based on
Wow.
my past.
Mhm.
Well, my best friend, she's so like that too.
Okay, she won't cook for her husband.
Yes, she's a single mom right now because she don't know how to act of service. She
Mhm.
don't know how to love her husband.
Mhm.
You hear
She
that?
only offers her husband. She only wants money.
Oh, so
Uh-huh.
she is kind of materialistic. So the husband
Single mothers, bro, around the world, single for a reason, materialistic, only wants his money, doesn't give him acts of service, doesn't take care of him. Why am I single? Why won't men want to be with me? Why don't they stick around? This is like echoing what happens in the dating pool. But forget the marriage part, forget the kids part. Women are always wondering, why do men keep pumping and dumping me? Why do men keep ghosting me? Look at what this woman just said. It's the same issue. All you care about is money, material possessions, status. You care about being taken to the best restaurants, the cues. Everything you're showing your man is that you're only here for the short term. The potential prospect sitting across from you at the table, eyeing you up and down, going, is this going to be a good woman? Is this going to be a good wife one day? The future mother of my children, let me see. And then dumb shit comes out of your mouth like, why are we here? I've been to better restaurants. This food's kind of shit. I've had much better. Yes, can you move out of the way so I could take this picture? And then can you have my phone and take the selfie? Can you do it like just from this angle? And like, how much money do you make? Oh, wow. Like I'm looking for 6'5", blonde, blue-eyed, blah, 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 blah. Next, bro, pump and dump. You're garbage. You are catch and release protocol. And this is what's happening. They wonder why men aren't taking them seriously for long-term relationships. You haven't uttered a single word that says, I would make a good mother, I would make a good wife. It is not a shock at all. We've been telling women the game. This is what you need to do. You want to secure a man for long-term. This is how you need to act. This is how you need to dress. This is how you need to speak. They don't want to listen, bro. I'm in my boss babe era. Enjoy the cats and boxed wine. We keep telling you.
left.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, well. What do you think of her attitude?
She's so disgusting as a woman.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
And she kind of sounds
Yeah.
like she's so entitled.
Yeah.
Like she owns everything and then just me.
I think she's not really a woman.
Maybe she is an alien.
You know that Filipino culture is always different from others, and we are raised well. Our parents teach us to be polite, and we also have to take our responsibility carefully. So I think we are really raised well than other country.
Okay. So you think her parents didn't,
Maybe-
didn't do a great job?
Maybe her parents raised her well, but she's different.
Okay, she's just a different. So
No,
what is
her
she
parents are the
offering her
same.
husband? Because I didn't.
That kind of bitterness only comes from her mama. I'm telling you guys. Meet the parents, bro. If you think you got a prospective woman that's good for long term, meet the parents. Watch the mother. She'll become her mother one day. Watch how the mother acts. Watch how the father acts. Watch their dynamic. You're the one that's judging. Remember, dude, they used to pay dowry and shit. You know that the families of the women used to pay you to take her off their hand. You understand how far we've fallen? Do not be afraid. There's this Western trope of like the man shaking his boots, meeting the father, and hopefully you get a firm handshake. That's fucking bullshit. I'm about to provide for your daughter. I'm about to take her off your hands. I'm about to extend this family out and bring in more resources. I better have the fucking red carpet rolled out for me when I come to the house. I will be judging you. Better be on your best behavior. If the man's not a man, it's a next. If the wife is berating the husband, it's a next. I'm not the one that's going in afraid. They better be shaking in their fucking boots because I'm going to judge every single little interaction. Why? Because that set the stage for what my relationship is going to be like with that woman. What our dynamic will look like. Was she raised in a healthy dynamic or not? We're about to find out. And if she wasn't, does she have the self-awareness? Has she done the therapy? Is she introspective enough to understand that she doesn't want that? Because there's a rare few gems that come out of relationships like that, where imagine it's like the alcoholic story with the two brothers. One will grow up to be an alcoholic just like the father, and beat his kids the same way. And the other one will swear off alcohol just because he was raised in a hellish household and saw the example his father was, and will vow to never be like his old man again. So you can potentially meet a woman that comes from a broken household that would vow just through the trauma alone to never, ever replicate their parents' relationship ever. That's really hard to find though, dude. But those make some of the greatest partners because they never want to pass on the trauma and the emotional damage that they had to their own kids because they were the ones that felt it firsthand. But that's hard. Men that don't really have experience with women should just stick to the basics. Strong families that are together, still religious, conservative family households where the man is still leading. Typically that gets you, quote, the easiest relationships because those women are already pretty much raised in households that are conducive to long-term relationships, marriage, and children.
Hear anything? Just me.
I think only herself.
Herself? Just sex?
Maybe.
I don't even know if it's good sex though.
Yes.
So imagine coming home to a wife like that. What would you feel if you were the guy?
I feel mad, like angry.
Angry.
Yeah, very disgusting.
But what's the main thing that guys always want?
I think loyalty and honesty.
Loyalty and honesty.
Yes.
What do you think of her attitude?
Upon watching the video, I can say that she is too focused or centered to her children to the point that she already forgot her commitment or her responsibility to her husband.
Okay.
Yep.
And mentioned it's her children,
Yeah, that's
not
why
their
Mhm.
children.
She sounds very selfish to the point that she only thinks that she owns the children without her husband. So that's why I can really say that she's a selfish wife. I really thought that she's a single mother, the way how she talked,
Mhm.
the way how she delivered her ideas, and how she only focusing on her children, not to her husband. So is she a single mother or does she have a husband? Like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Mm.
if you were a guy,
Mhm.
would you even consider having a date with this woman?
No, because one of the consideration of a guy when he is going to marry a woman
Mhm.
is being responsible.
Mhm.
The act of service is always there, should always there. So,
Okay.
and that is the only thing I think I can see that the girl or the woman in the video, she doesn't have that act of service to her husband.
Right. What do you think she's offering her husband at the moment?
Only to bear children.
To bear children. Okay. Aside from that, how about, I don't know,
Nothing.
maybe
Be real.
being the eye candy?
No, basing on her physical appearance, she's not a trophy wife.
She's not a trophy
She's
wife.
living a good life, I can say.
A good life meaning to say well fed?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
To put it, nicely. She's kind of well fed by the husband. So, if you were in the husband's situation, knowing that your wife
Hey, that's a good way to call them fat today. Just you're looking well fed. You ain't skipping any meals. Avoid well fed ladies in the West.
cook for you, do the laundry for you, not even buy you underwear, what would you feel? Would you divorce this woman?
Maybe it is not the best solution to divorce your wife if she's
Mhm.
not doing her responsibility inside the house.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should guys there are times that we need to talk with our wife or her husband
Mhm.
regarding on those things that the two of us only just know.
Mhm.
So talk with each other and try to tell
Think
the
about the
girl, the
kids.
woman to do the responsibilities and how a wife should act inside the house, because that is one of the responsibilities, like
And before you get into the marriage phase and listen, vet your woman forever before you put the ring on. Okay. It's any relationship you get into, the vetting phase doesn't just end when you check off a few boxes here and there and you go, that's good enough. The rest we can work on. No. You vet this person consistently up until the point that you get down on one knee. Once you get down on one knee, the vetting stage is over. You've decided that this is your life partner. But until then, you constantly have to check if this woman is the correct woman to bear your children and be your wife and your partner for life. Your spouse for life, dude. When you are 70 fucking 8 years old, rocking in the chair, on your porch, overlooking everything, are you holding your woman's hand and just talking about shit about life in general? Are you overlooking your children and their kids, your grandchildren running around your yard when they come to visit every once in a while? Did you guys build a good legacy of life together? Can you envision that? If you can't see that future for yourself, that's probably not the woman for you then. And if she's showing some red flags, certain red flags have more weight than other red flags. If there's one of these red flags that are absolute deal breaker, Guys, it's very important you do not fall in the sunk cost fallacy. I know it's difficult, but you need to cut loose before you include marriage and kids when it's too hard to separate. You may like this person, but they may not be the right person for you. They might have enough good things going, but they might not be the person you should truly be with. Take your time. Don't rush into any of this.
Do laundry, do cooking,
Okay.
taking good care of the children and your husband. You are not just marrying to bear children, but of course you're marrying that guy because you love him. So this part of very
And what's crazy is even though I tell you guys this stuff, I get messages from dudes, emails, consults. Guys are talking about like, well, I've met. Here's how fucked up men are. I know this woman for like 8 months, 9 months now. We've been talking and she seems really nice and we're kind of like dating. And I go, oh, dating. So like, how many dates have you been on? None. It's just all online. I don't know how to explain to you guys that talking to online profiles doesn't mean shit. One single date that woman can go on physically with a man will bear out more bonding, more connection than your 9 months of talking online. You're talking to a profile. It's not dating. You don't know this person. It's all fake. There's a lot of dudes that are just flying overseas after talking to some women online and then thinking already she's the one, getting married after like 2 FaceTime calls. What the fuck are you doing? This is how starved men are for intimacy and attention. It's crazy, dude. A man will think with the little man downstairs. Absolutely no rational thought hitting his brain. It's just wild.
idea of your commitment. You provide commitment. You made vows together.
Right.
Yeah, you made vows together, like in thickness and in health. You should helping each other in every single thing inside the house. So yeah, I think the divorce is not the best solution. I think you just need time to talk with each other.
Do you think there's a chance for the husband to talk to this woman? There's a way to save her, to change her mind and become somehow a loving wife?
There's always a room of improvement. So
Okay.
there is a perfect time for them both to talk with each other and to open up things like that.
Okay. Well, how are we different? As a Filipina, how are we different from this woman?
Well, we are it is one of the famous quote of Filipinos, like the wife or the ilaw ng tahanan, which there should be the one who took good care of their children, including her husband, and giving love fairly. Not just you're just focusing on your children, but on your husband as well, because we cannot deny that your husband came first in your life.
Right. He should be your priority,
Yes,
and then the children,
Yep.
right? Okay. So what?
That's a crazy concept for people to wrap their minds around in the West. That's how toxic it is. Your husband comes first. The children come after. The entire health of the family unit depends on the mother and the father getting along well and having a strong, stable foundation together, which then happiness, security, all that shit, the children will derive from that. It comes down from the parents first. Women that have children and completely neglect their husbands are killing their own relationships. They're killing the future of their children. Your man is your number one priority, period, in a marriage, especially if you are so blessed to be a stay-at-home wife where the man can afford to provide for all of you and your only job is the kids. That shit is mind-blowing that you would put your kids before your man, the one providing everything. Without him, all of that falls apart. That's common sense. In the rest of the world, that's common sense. That is literal common sense. In the West, we're living in an upside-down world. It's crazy.
Bring to the table. Why should a man marry you instead of other Filipinas around here?
Maybe one of the personality that made me unique aside compared to the other Filipinas here is that I know how to communicate well with my husband. I know how to get contented, and I know how to give love fairly, and how to support fairly with my children and my husband as well.
Okay, so aside from just being there doing the household chores, because obviously a guy can just hire a maid, right? But you offer more than that. You offer support emotionally and financially if you can. Okay. What about physical intimacy though? We didn't hear her talk about physical intimacy. What about sex?
When it comes to intimacy, well, we cannot deny that when you are in a married life, this is already part of it. Well, it is not a responsibility as what you've said. You still have the right to say no if you're not willing to do it.
If you're not in the mood.
Yes, if you're not willing to do it. So you still have the right to say no for that. Yeah, it is already part of a married life.
Okay,
The
so
intimacy.
doing all the house chores and supporting your husband and then cooking for him, doing the laundry, do you feel like you're oppressed because you're doing that? It's like you're a slave to your husband because you're doing that?
No, it is very fulfilling for me that I was able to perform all of my duties and my responsibilities, not on my children only, but as well as on my husband. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think that is also one of the achievement as a wife that we are able to perform perfectly, or not perfectly, like
Perform.
yeah, perform. I
You have to
performed, yeah.
perform day and night.
Yes, we have to perform. Yeah, it is very fulfilling as a wife that we are able to perform all our responsibilities and our duties as a wife, as a mother.
Now, any of you that understand Filipinas aren't surprised by the reactions to that woman's video. But I have to wonder what exactly she thinks her job is. Maybe landlord, warden, household administrator? I bet she even has a sex contract where every encounter is negotiated, complete with a long list of do's and don'ts. And I bet the list of things she won't do outweighs the number of things she will. How romantic. Now, surely not all women over there are like this. I met plenty of reasonable women when I visited the US. But the fact that her video got over 53,000 likes shows there's some support for her position.
Yep.
If this is the growing trend, then I really do pity you guys. Who wants to marry a woman like that? What could you possibly get out of it?
You get nothing, and don't pity them. They're leaving. That's why Passport Bros is blowing up. That's why going overseas and starting a family is blowing up. It will become mainstream. I guarantee it's not seated in the minds of millions of men yet, but I guarantee you every single man at one point or another in the next decade or so in the United States will have a contingency plan of going overseas to find a woman. I'm telling you, it's going to become the norm. Right now, it's still very much a niche. It's not that much talked about. It's just starting to get big, but give it 10 years. Give it 10 years in the contingency plan of I'm going to work hard in my 20s, play in my 30s, or go overseas for a couple of months and I'm going to find a good woman. Either bring her back or stay over there. Most guys realistically will be making their money in the West, so they'll bring them back in the West. It's not the ideal situation, but bringing one of them back to the West is 1,000 times better than the current woman in that video. Okay? We have a strong need to be fathers. We do have a strong need and want to lead a household. You cannot beat this out of men. We want to be leaders of our own household, shepherds of our families. That will involve a lot of men going overseas and bringing women back. It is what it is. It's not ideal, but it sure as hell beats being lonely. It sure as hell beats the lifestyle that guy's living with that harpy of a woman. So ideally, you stay overseas and don't have to deal with the laws. But even in the United States, the laws are changing. So conservatives in Florida and a few other states got rid of permanent alimony. And the way they calculate alimony is different now. So the tide is turning slowly. Give it 10 years. You'll see what I mean. That woman should be the poster child for why the Passport Bro movement exists. Yeah. My first wife actually said to me that intimacy would resume if I purchased a house for her. We are not married anymore. It never ceases to amaze me how in America, the women with the least to give demand the most. She's not married. She has a roommate. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I've been telling you, life overseas, dude. I got videos all on the second channel walking around. You can see just what the women look like. I tell you guys what the difference is culture-wise, what it's like to be in a nation where it's family forward and family oriented. A completely different vibe. You actually want to meet a woman, start a family. The laws are fair. There's no combative nature to the women. They're not aggressive and masculine. They welcome men to be leaders and masculine in a traditional sense. They seek it out, actually. It's not demonized like it is in the West. Yeah, all those links are all these videos that pop up here at the end if you haven't tuned into the second channel. Join us on the private community. Hang out on some of the calls that we have. We have 5 of them a week, sometimes more. Appreciate everybody that's been doing private consults, as well as buying shirts. I don't have my Hoflation mug, but that would have been perfect for this episode. When I grabbed it. Here, appreciate everybody that's been getting Hoflation mug. They've been selling out like hotcakes. The links are all in the description below. Again, I'd like to say, appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.